Hey, what's up, everyone? I am still very congested and sick, so I do sound very muffled for this video. But this was brought to my attention by another YouTuber who made a video about it, and I definitely am affected by this change. Are you affected by it? Is the question. The New York charging bull. I've seen this before on, various shows and things. I've never actually seen it in person. I've never been to New York, so I can't say what it looked like in person, but from the images I remember, from the videos that I remember, the New York charging bull did not look like this. It's way too far slanted. This looks wrong. It looks different. It just looks different for me. And I don't know if that's the change for you, but for me that's the change. It just doesn't look right. So share your memories. That's just one of the new recent Mandela Effects. There's so many of them. Aerosmith, Walk This Way. Now it just says Walk This Way the entire song. And I mentioned that. I was the first to make a video about it, thanks to Loyalty Makes Us Family. Thanks for that person bringing it up. And then Moneybags made a video, and now Brian McFarlane did a live stream and mentioned it. Now, I don't know if I'm affected by this one or not, but many people seem to remember Kaylee Cuoco, the star of The Big Bang Theory. They remember her having a baby or being pregnant, but now she's never reportedly had a baby or been pregnant. So that's another ME for some people. Not necessarily for me, but I'd like to ask you if you have that memory, because some people out there stated they do. One YouTube channel actually brought it up and stated that that was their memory and that they remembered it. But personally, I can't say that I do. I'll have to ask my mama and see if she remembers that. Now, there's another one that was reported by another YouTuber, the moonwalk. And they reported that Michael Jackson was no longer the one to invent the moonwalk. Michael Jackson just made it famous. And he learned to moonwalk, and the moonwalk had been around since 1955. So that is an ME for many people as well. Also, a lot of people, I believe this was brought up by Brian McFarlane and several other individuals, the Stormtroopers' the knees. This doesn't look right at all. And there are many outfits and action figures out there sold that don't have that weird thing on the knee. This, for example, this is an action figure, and you don't see that. That's just how they look right there. But the Stormtroopers look way off. They look really, really off. I think one of the scenes there was a red curb on Back to the Future, and many people don't remember there being red curbs on Back to the Future, and now, so that's one ME that happened regarding Back to the Future for many people. Some people reported the Milky Way to look different, but for me, that looks similar, but just maybe much larger. Now, when some individuals were reporting that the Milky Way was a spiral, now this is actually a time lapse video or picture that they compiled of multiple time lapses of the Milky Way, and that's why it looked that way. But that's just that's why it looked that way for that particular image that you've seen. There were several other things that I was going to talk about. For instance, that object in the sky. Many people have been reporting continuously seeing that bright object. I, for one, witnessed that orange object, really bright object in the eastern sky. It was there, and then it was gone the next day. Never was there before, never was there after. And other people have been reporting continuously seeing it. Some people have been reporting seeing something that looked like the moon, but yet it wasn't. Others reported seeing various other things, and it was, let's see, I can't remember the name of the person, but By the way, thank you to everyone. I've had so many people share with me, and it's a blessing. It really is. It's so amazing the amount of people sharing with me their own personal experiences and sharing with me what they go through that is very similar, and that's amazing. But let me know if you're affected by any of these on this video that I'm affected by. But I know Darth Vader changed. His helmet looks different. The three nodes or whatever on it, the three bumps. And let's see. Now the Stormtroopers had this change. I don't ever remember the Stormtroopers looking like that. And I haven't even really watched Star Wars, but I don't remember the Stormtroopers looking like that. Just like C-3PO's golden leg. I'm like, what the heck? That didn't. Hold on, let me pause the video. Sorry, I've still got this mess, but yeah, that didn't look right at all. The C-3PO's golden leg. I mean, you would think we would have remembered that very clearly, but yeah, there it is. But regarding some astronomy news, some science news, I suppose, they stated that they are going to lift a mirror satellite into space. Now, I had the question that if there really are that many satellites, I believe there are some satellites, maybe a few hundred, I don't know. But, I mean, when they show us a video feed from the International Space Station, we never see but one satellite, that same satellite moving around the Earth over and over. But yet, we need to see more. I want more. I want to see more. And, I mean, I know the International Space Station. I've seen a light go across the sky when they state the International Space Station is supposed to be going over. They said, well, the ISS will go over soon. Okay, and I'll see this light going over, and I'm like, well, that must be what that was. But I get that, but if there really are 45 going on 46,000 satellites around this Earth, and all of that space junk they claim to have shown on the world news, and every time they show us a video, it's always animated, or an artist's conception, or artist depiction, or an artist rendering, or whatever, a drawing, or animation, or CGI of what they're going to do. Now, they want to send a mirror into space. They said they want to send a mirror and reflect what's around, and they said several critics of it were stating, don't do this because it will take away from the natural beauty of nature, of the atmosphere, the universe itself. So they're still going to do it, I guess. I don't know, but I don't really know. I haven't heard anything else about it, but I know that they want to put this mirror out there, this huge mirror. Now, if there really are that many satellites, 46,000 or some odd, so a certain amount of satellites, excuse me, then we shouldn't see anything around us. I mean, if there are that many, it looks like mosquitoes just surrounding this world, then you would think, with all that space junk, as they call it, then we wouldn't even see sunlight, the moonlight, or we wouldn't see the sun, the moon, the stars, anything. No celestial objects. You know, you wouldn't think you would see any of it, but that's just logic would tell you that. Just show what's out there once and for all and prove it to everyone. But yeah, that's just what I have to say about that, you know. I mean, you get what I mean, I'm sure. Some of you have also spoken with me about that, with me about that. Also, a penny appeared for me earlier, right there in the middle of the floor. A very shiny penny. I had to share that. It was a 2005 penny, which 2005 was the year my granny passed away. In December of 2005, my granny on my mama's side passed away that year. And in December 2005. And yeah, I felt like that was a sign from her, that penny being there a little while ago. But there's a lot to talk about. There's so many new MEs, things shifting back and forth and changing on us. Things that... Well, that was the computer. It just gave a random error statement. I don't know why it did that, but that was the home computer, the desktop computer I had it on. But yeah, I mean, why all of these things go back and forth all the time? And you would think if we were shifting worlds or shifting universes... By the way, big shout out to everyone for all of you sharing with me and everything. It means so much. I mean, it's so special that you all share your hundreds and hundreds of comments with me. Sometimes I've had over 100 in a day, and it's just so overwhelming and so special. But there were some people talking about how if we actually were shifting realities, you would think that none of the residue would still even exist. If we were shifting universes or worlds, I mean, in a way, you wouldn't think that the residue from where we were would still exist here in this flow of existence. But unless some things are just kind of looping and merging and things are opening up and parallel gateways and parallel universes are merging with this one and things, they're collapsing in on each other. That's one possibility. And the Mandela Effect is making it mainstream now. It's making mainstream news all over this world and all over the internet. Various people are talking about it. Jim Carrey even mentioned, he said it was the Mandela Effect on this video they showed on YouTube of Jim Carrey. He made a joke out of it, but still he did mention it, so it's obvious that it's going viral. Now, as far as Jim Carrey recently, I know that's another topic, but he, I mean, I get part of what he states. He's kind of had this awakening and a spiritual awakening, but yet he, at the same time now, he thinks he's being individual. And yes, I get it. He says nothing matters, money doesn't matter, and all this fame and fortune and all the material goods don't matter. I get that, but it's the spirit that matters, the eternal. But the thing is, they're using him now. He doesn't realize that they're using him for their own agenda, even though he's acting as though he's promoting against that Illuminati agenda and everything. But yeah, they're still using him for it, to promote their way of thinking. I mean, they're using him for mind control still. Even though he thinks he's thinking individually, they're still using him for mind control. He's onto something, but also other people that aren't rich, that don't have all of the money, and, I mean, yes, I really enjoy Jim Carrey, by the way. I always have. I've always enjoyed his movies. I enjoy hearing him talk, watching him in interviews, watching him talk. And I love Jim Carrey. I always have. But, you know, I get what he's stating. Like, we're playing a part, playing a role, that Jim Carrey is just a name. That's not his name. One day he's got all of this. One day he might be one person. The next day he might be another. And that his mind is just, he's just playing the role in his human body. I get that, but the point is, not everyone has the liberty of having all of that money and fame and, you know, to reach that large of an audience and to be able to have all that money to just have all that free time and think about all of this, to think about all of it, and to feel like nothing matters. Not everyone has all of that money. He did state one thing. Things aren't just given to you, that he had to work for it. You can't just do nothing in this world. You have to work for it a lot of times. He did state that, but the point is, though, a lot of people don't have the money, the fame, and the fortune that Jim Carrey does. A lot of people don't have the financial fortune to be able to just to be able to just sit around and only focus on that. And Jim Carrey himself, he's not without. He has enough money and financial means to be able to have the time to think about everything, and just, he's got the luxury of being able to just utilize his time to focus on the spiritual aspect of things, and not everyone else does. Not everyone does. Not everyone else out there has that kind of time, and hardly anyone has that kind of time and money to be able to just, the leisure time to be able to focus on those things. The rest of the human beings out there are forced to be preoccupied on their daily existence. But anyway, yeah, he has a lot of money, and he has a lot of fortune that enable him to be able to do that. But also, the thing is, they're using him. They're also using Jim Carrey. They are using Jim Carrey as a kind of a pawn in their game, even though he doesn't realize it. They're using him to kind of further spread their agenda, in my opinion. But he doesn't realize it now. The things he stated about the Illuminati and the control, all that's true. That's very true, and I completely get where he's coming from there. consumerism and control. But anyway, back to the topic of what I was talking about. There are several new MEs, and big shout out to everyone. I think Hidden Knowledge and Brian McFarlane and Loyalty Makes Us Family. I think Scared Performance mentioned several, and all of these people. Moneybag 73, Moneybags 73 or 76. I don't know. 73, I think is. See, it's weird. I've got a dual memory of him. 73 and 76. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, several people have talked to me stating their memories are trying to fade, and they're trying to their mind is trying to, the dominant memory, this new memory, the reality around us that we see, that memory is trying to become dominant, and they're trying to not let that happen. And, yeah, that's what several individuals were stating. But there are so many people that are sharing with me, so many Mandela Effects happening, so many MEs happening on a daily basis, shifts taking place. I don't know if we're shifting in different places or what's going on, but reality around us is changing for many of us, and that's a fact. Also, if you could just change one person over, if you could just wake up one person, it's worth it. And I've had several people tell me that I woke them up and made them a believer again. That's worth it. That's what's worth it. And so that's what makes it worth it. So much love. That's all for this video. I know I went on a little longer than I expected. I'm still going through this sickness, this illness, and I had 102 fever yesterday. I had 102 fever. It wasn't pleasant, and the chill and everything. It was just, ugh. Yeah. Anyway. So thank you all. Much love, and God bless. I will speak with all of you again very soon. Give me your thoughts on several of these MEs and other things that I've discussed. So thank you for watching. Peace. Bye.